Hello, everyone. This is Jim Okrasinski with your Week 7, Chapter 5 lecture video. Before I get to the lecture portion of this video, I'd like to review some of the logistics for what is happening this week. So, in the week's activities, I say after completing your first draft and peer report, head over to discussion board number 8. So, once again, I have a variety of consultation draft submissions. This is really a straightforward request and instructions on my part. First draft peer reviews, right? So, first draft upload. Here we go. Please upload GDoc links to your first draft and peer report. I need 2 links. Or some people have been really uh, interesting by attaching the peer report to the end of their first draft and giving me 1 link. That works. I get the 2 parts. I need to read your draft. I need to read the peer report, what you say about your draft, by clicking on the right submission button and opening up the text box. Copy and paste the GDoc links in the text box and click submit. I am not asking for a Word doc. I am not asking for a PDF. I am asking for GDoc links. Okay, so I need 2 parts is the process here. Then the same thing will happen with the first draft 2 peer reviews. 2 links uploaded to the right submission text box in Blackboard here. The only issue with putting the peer report at the end of your first draft is that everybody's got to scroll through to find your report. So that's something to consider. But that is an acceptable submission. I will, as long as I get the first draft and peer report. Now, let me explain exactly what happens with the consultation drafts as I review them. I will turn around and review each draft. I will comment on the holistic nature of the draft. I will comment on global issues. I do not comment or correct any grammar or proofing of your document. I will comment on the formatting of your document, especially your works cited page. MLA guidelines is a significant portion of your grade on this assignment, so you want to make sure that your formatting is accurate. So I will comment on that for the final draft. So um, as I go through the drafts, I will comment on your structure. I urge everyone to hold off revising your draft until you get my comments. The final draft of the research essay is not due until next Friday. So the idea here is for all of us to work together through peer review process, my review, and the Chapter 5 exercise 5.1. So now that Tuesday has passed, this is Wednesday morning, I am looking toward exercise 5.1. So this is an interesting activity. It is due Friday, end of day. What we have here is 5.1 is Ballinger describes in the book as wrestling with the draft. So how you go about looking at how you have used the sources, how much quoting is in your particular essay, how you blend, in other words, how you achieve the weave of research writing between introducing and using quotations. How do you go about evaluating and writing your own commentary there? It's an interesting discussion, and I think it'll be very beneficial for you to post here in exercise 5.1. And this is a relatively easy activity to perform. I'm going to use Mohammed's draft here. Sorry, Mohammed, but you are my example. So here we have, if we're looking quickly over Mohammed's draft, talks about twangy and here. So let's say we want to see what kind of let's see, use of sources. If we do that, what color you want to make this one? Let's make this one green. All right, so we have a green here, right? All right, so that's what I was saying, and then here we go. In fact, according to the American Silent, here's another quote here. All right, here's a quote. Now remember, I'm going to be warning everybody, you might want to take a look at this. Let's make this one blue. How's that? So as you go through your draft, look at the words of others, whether it's a paraphrase or a quote, all right, and then highlight those in various colors. This is a great thing about using Google Drive and GDocs for this. You can do it in Word if you have it on your computer and you want to work with it that way, but it's an excellent way to determine how to look at how you're really using and citing sources. When I usually have an in-class participation in this, we have a bunch of different colored markers, and students will turn around and highlight hard copies of their particular essays. So let's see, ranking up. Let's see, you want to make sure that your quotes are not too long. Remember MLA rules, and anything over 4 lines is should be cut back. Let's go with the next color, blue. So as you can see here, we can work through all of this particular quotes in this draft here. All right. So this is a wonderful way to see how you're blending the words of others and working through the activity. So that is exercise 5.1, and looking how you can reflect on how you're using sources. All right. So the idea here is to complete 5.1 by Friday, and also on Sunday with responses, right? Period. This is the reason why too. In this particular instance, if we look at the schedule for the week, I have included peer review response number 1 is due on Sunday, giving you plenty of time to work through the peer review process. Make sure that you also um, have the opportunity then to spread the peer reviews around. Wait for that second response. Make sure everybody gets at least 1 or 2 peer reviews of the drafts that are posted. If some students are posting late, you might want to hang back. That's why I have the second peer review isn't due until next Tuesday. So there is time for everyone to review the consultation drafts, the first drafts. So don't gang up. I don't want to see anything more than, I don't want to see 3 peer reviews on one particular essay. There should be 2 at the max. So be aware. I don't want to put groups together because some students are participating, some aren't. And always when you put people in groups, then they have a tendency to have difficulty writing peer reviews. So keep that in mind. So here we go. Now to the PowerPoint lecture of Chapter 5. So remember, revision is really more than just tightening up sentences, correct spelling, working on the works cited page. Every once in a while, we look to expand a paragraph here and there, but we will rarely look at revision in a holistic sense. Take a look at it. There's a lot of great ways that you can expand your thinking. It is not editing. Editing is just fixing those items and then turning it in. What we're looking for in this particular chapter is how to do revision. And more so than that, we're looking at how to get the writer to reader based prose. How do you write for your audience? So have a clear purpose. Okay, what is your research question? Establish the research question, and the answer are significant. The stake does have what does the reader have in mind? So what I will ask you in your research essay, your first draft, is the questions of so what and who cares and why does this matter to me? This is how you can determine and establish the significance of your particular topic. How does it affect people? How does it affect society? And you have to have one main thing. Ballinger talks about saying one main thing. Okay, that's the reason why we went through the activities, establishing some sort of a thesis in order for you to coalesce around the one main idea of your particular research topic. In the textbook, you have a couple of templates here. It's really straightforward. If you were going to explore, you can say the main purpose of my essay on, and you can fill in the blanks here. If you want to argue because of X and Y as well as Z in this essay, I am arguing. I have nothing wrong with that rhetorical choice. In fact, sometimes a straightforward, really a straightforward statement is telling the reader exactly what you're arguing is the best way to go about business. Establishing significance. Okay. It raises questions they, the reader, want to know. Helps them to see what they've seen before in a way they haven't seen it before. What's something different you can tell me? Teach me something new. is what I talk about all the time. It amplifies what they know and care about. It moves them emotionally. The pathos in the rhetorical arguments, right? It takes a surprising point of view, something that maybe readers, anybody, has not thought about before, right? I'm not going to talk about images. Who are you in your draft? And there are 4 bullet points on page 158 you want to consider, right? Consider your purpose. How much does your intended audience know about your topic, and consider the genre? While yes, I am your audience, but your classmates are more so the audience. The public is your audience too. So you want to address those particular issues. All right. So as we work through, make sure you remember to wait for my comments and my review and revise before your final draft is due. That's why I've spaced everything out between the peer reviews and the final draft. All right. So we'll get into next week's lecture video a little bit more about editing. That's about all I have right now. Remember, process instructions are critical. So that being said, good luck. Be safe.